Herschel Walker got the necessary 50%. Walker's at 48.7. So again, looks like that not be decided until December 6th. So we'll have to wait for that. And the House, again, incumbents winning most of the seats in New York and New Jersey. Tom Kaine Jr. did flip a seat to Republicans in Jersey, defeating Tom Malinowski. That's the very same seat that Malinowski won over Kaine a couple of years ago. Here in the city, a big win for Nicole Maliotakis over the Democrat Max Rose. In fact, the margin there is more than 20%. I'm Glenn Schluck at the 1010 Wins Election Desk on 92.3 FM.
1010 Wins Election coverage is sponsored by AARP New York. Get voting information you can trust at aarp.org/nyvote. 44 degrees, sunny, beginning up to 55 in Midtown today. Wednesday's time, 9:26. Bloomberg Money Watch and Steve Curtis.
Well, Lee, the happiest place on earth may have lost a little bit of its magic, even as Disney grows its streaming business. The cost of creating
Santa Monica Rodriguez, good morning, number one, beautiful. Santa Monica Rodriguez. I subscribe to you too. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much.
About 13% of its workforce, planning to let more than 11,000 employees go. CEO Mark Zuckerberg says the parent of Facebook and Instagram will also extend a hiring freeze.
Like, share, subscribe.
Cost cuts will come across all of its business units. On Wall Street as we head to the opening bell, we're looking at some red arrows. S&P futures are down 25 points now. NASDAQ futures are down 77. Dow futures giving back 219 points. Bloomberg Money Watch, 26 past every hour. I'm Steve Curtis for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
November is National Family Caregivers Month. Did you know that over 16 million Americans provide unpaid care for people with Alzheimer's? The Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research Foundation provides resources to caregivers. Get the information you need at alvinfo.org/radio and sign up for a free bi-weekly e-newsletter or subscribe to our award-winning magazine, Preserving Your Memory.
The 1010 Wins season of giving is underway. Everyone has the power to improve the world by giving selflessly through time, money, effort, items, or knowledge. Help New York House of Good Deeds. Do that every day in the city at houseofgooddeeds.org. The 1010 Wins season of giving is sponsored by the Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research Foundation. Honor a loved one with a tribute donation at alvinfo.org/radio.
In an instant, a normal lunch can turn into every parent's nightmare. Every 5 days, a child dies from choking, making it the fourth leading cause of accidental death. LifeVac was created to ensure that no parent has to go through such a terrible loss. LifeVac is the easiest, safest, and most effective way to clear an airway and save the life of your loved one. To date, it saved the lives of more than 500 choking victims. Go to lifevac.net today and use the code radio to save 20%.
The Grand Channel, good morning. I subscribe to you too. I'm subscribed to everybody.
To help you remember Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, it personalizes ad for Amber, who really missed the boy back from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. What's the hot glass? The only thing I love more than you is saving. And the other one, the band doesn't want your dollar back.
Forget
Only
about
pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Today on Hey Kogan, reverse to reduce gear Bob. Whoa, Bob, you are not kidding about the bottles. But did you know Kogan's reverse osmosis and always-on drinking water systems provide fresh, clean, delicious drinking water and help reduce the equivalent of over 15 billion plastic bottles from landfills worldwide? Environmentally friendly drinking water. Am I right? We're already on the way. Let us help you out with free in-home water test from different forms of water at Kogan.com.
The Friday Tech OTC. Just one pill each morning and no hot burn all day. Smile Holiday Hero.
OTC, 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. It's possible to use Biotech OTC. Use it ready for 14 days to treat the heartburn. Nothing you need.
44 is sunny, beginning up to 55. The open bell of the New York Stock Exchange is sponsored by Lincoln, Jaguar, and Land Rover. Today, your next adventure of luxury SUVs. From Lincoln, Jaguar, Land Rover to Madison. I'm in Howard. Lincoln, Land Rover.
There's the opening bell on Wall Street. S&P futures were down
years old Kathy Winkle to be rebuilding. Winkle knows what to concede. Republican Congresswoman Nicole Malio-Tackett keeps her seat, and the Maryland Republicans are fabulous towards Democrat Tom Quasy's old seat. In New Jersey, Tom Kane Jr. defeated Tom Malinowski in the 2nd Congressional District. Up in Westchester, the race between Sean Patrick Maloney and Mike Wilder is still too close to call. Nationally, Democrats and Republicans still battling it out for control of Congress, with neither reaching the 218 seats needed in the House. In the Senate, a major victory for Democrats in Pennsylvania. The John Fetterman defeated Dr. Mehmet Oz for an open seat that was previously held by a Republican. Races in Arizona, Wisconsin, and Nevada have yet to be called. The controls will come down to Georgia. That's where it looks as if neither Raphael Warnock nor Herschel Walker will get the 50% needed.
Well, they say it is unlikely that Warnock could win this outright. It is mathematically possible. A runoff would take place 4 weeks from last night on December 5th. The campaigns, of course, are prepared for this and ready to get at it.
Yeah, Dr. Rere, good morning.
How
How you doing?
Please do come 931 past the trends of your town source. All right, that is the go there.
First Street is actually along the right lane. The northbound lane for the 23rd Street and the walking on the all 60 of those blocks. Traveling 6 away from up to 141st Street, going to the 22nd Street area. And this is making the center of all cars, which is helping at a point right now. Boulevard beyond Sunlight Street. If you take this boulevard, it's about half of the way to the boulevard is, but it is jammed across the span no matter where you're coming from. And the inbound Kingston Tunnel, as you're saying, from Wood Boulevard on the LIE, that's Kingston Town in and through. The northern city got an accident. Just what it needed. Over on the city side, right down there, the northern square. And both directions, the battery tunnel are having a tough time. Because the water goes through the QE combination is having a tough time. We're about 8 Avenue, where about 95% of that trip is absolutely jammed. About 1 hour, 6 making a sweet morning rush hour recovery. Alternate parking is in effect today citywide. Traffic costs for transit runs on Sunday. Dunkin' Rewards, stay with the traffic. Now you want on today on Dunkin' Avenue or right on Dunkin' Supply. Our next report on platform. On latitude direct. Thunderstorms. We're worried of severe characteristics with damaging wind gusts that could spin up into a tornado, especially cities south and westward New Jersey. We're also looking at the possibility of some coastal flooding.
Buffalo Soldier.
On their own.
Nani.
We get out of the rain early Saturday. In fact, it rains up very mildly in the afternoon.
Buffalo Soldier.
It's much chillier. This is in the 30s to near 40 on Sunday with a shower possibility. 44 in the sun, going up to a high today of 55. You're obviously to 40 with weather stations. And then we're going to starts now with 40% off business fees powered by 12 retail car processing. Call 877-ASK-SELL. And we heard this was going to happen. Now it has. Facebook's parent company Meta has cut 11,000 jobs. It's about 13% of their workforce. Twitter has apparently come up with a fix for the obvious problem with charging for that coveted blue check mark. It's changed the code.
Musk has already announced anyone can buy a blue check mark on Twitter. But how will you know the difference between a real official account and one that someone gave free customers for? They're now rolling out the gray official label. You can't buy this one, and having a previously verified account won't automatically get you this official label. It will be added to some government accounts, commercial companies, business partners, major media, other publishers, and some public figures. Twitter says it will use to apparently distinguish between material safety land reporting. Brittany Griner has been moved to a penal colony in Russia now. This comes after a Russian court rejected an appeal of the 9-year sentence for the American basketball star for having vape cartridges in her luggage. The State Department is still said to be working on a prisoner swap, but it's not clear if
Well, we've heard of mom jeans, right? How about dad sneakers?
Sure, New Balance belts and fancy kicks, but a pair that used to be relegated to grandpa are the ones making the biggest splash right now.
Buffalo Soldier.
The white size 50s are great.
Nani, nani, nani.
$110
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
brands like Gucci have even put out their own $1,000 chunky sole copycat. One 63-year-old who's been wearing Nike Air Monarchs for 20 years. Thanks to the Wall Street Journal, the comfortable, active, I can go with everything.
Buffalo Soldier. Yeah.
Only 44 with no less than mostly sunny 55 today in Central. Winds due time 9:36 KS Ruben Richard. So COVID, so bumpy challenge. You know, I recently heard that 70% of those business owners don't know that if you've got 5 or more employees, they'll be eligible to receive a zero
Buffalo Soldier.
up to $26,000.
Nani.
Now the challenge is cutting through.
Yeah.
The solution, getrefunds.com. The team of tax attorneys they've put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. They have already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. And by the way, they do all the work with no upfront charge. They simply share a percentage of the cash they get for you. So who qualifies? Businesses of all types, including nonprofits, even those.
Yeah.
Go to getrefunds.com, click where it says qualify me. But remember, this program is only available for a limited time, so you want to do it soon so you don't miss out. Getrefunds.com. Getrefunds.com.
Coffee time.
9:37. Big night ahead for country music fans. 1010 Wins Entertainment next.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything is suddenly stopped. Hospitals.
Let me go get a cup of coffee. Let me go get a cup of coffee.
No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the one to get it done. Rangers are here for you.
Buffalo Soldier.
Solutions for every industry. And access to product specialists ready to help.
Let me go get a cup of coffee.
Just outside. Ranger.
Wins News Time 9:38. 1010 Wins Entertainment. The Country Music Association Awards are coming up tonight in Nashville. Miranda Lambert, Reba McEntire, and Carrie Underwood are expected to be among those paying tribute to Loretta Lynn in the opening performance of the CMA Awards, which air live on ABC. Carly Pierce has 5 nominations and 2 performances to worry about, and she loves it.
It is going to be busy, but oh my gosh, like the busyness that I've dreamed of my whole life. So I'm really excited.
Nominee with 6. Entertainer of the Year contenders are Lambert, Underwood, Luke Combs, Chris Stapleton, and Morgan Wallen. Emojis are 11. Jason Aldean is out with his very first Christmas song. He has long been opposed to doing one, but Christmas in Dixie is actually a cover of an Alabama tune. It comes following the death of co-founder Jeff Cook. In fact, Aldean says Randy Owen gave his stamp of approval. Wins News Time 9:39.
Hey everybody, this is Boomer Esiason, and I'm here to tell you all about United Healthcare and their Oxford products. They've served me well for almost 30 years now, and I've been very happy with the coverage that I've received. In fact, they're not only my insurance carrier, United Healthcare also supports my foundation in our quest to find a cure for cystic fibrosis. You know, when you play pro football, you learn pretty fast that you can't win without teammates that you can rely on. The same is true of your health plan.
Yeah. My coffee. Yep. Who's in the building? Representative. Yeah, morning coffee. Good morning, Ruben. What's up, Ruben? What's up, Ruben? Subscribe to Ruben.
and stay connected.
The news watch never stops. It's 10-10 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. 44 degrees. It is 9:40 on this Wednesday, November 9th. I'm Susan Richard, and here's what's happening. Kathy Hochul, the deeply built to become the first woman elected as governor of New York.
Yeah. I can't believe Kathy Hochul win. Must be some shenanigans.
Control of the Senate will come down to Georgia. Another off-duty member of the NYPD comes under fire and police will tell what happened.
There must be some shenanigans.
Poll on the way. Evacuation orders now in effect for several of Florida's barrier islands. In sports, Islanders beat the Rangers, Devils beat the Flames. 10-10 wins back to weather sunny but chilly today, the night 55. Rain deep on 941. Let's get traffic and time to the town. All right, let's see what we got going on here. If you're heading out to the Hudson River Crossing, here's what you need to know about the bridges and storm. Inbound Georgia down to 30. That's 12 level. 6 per hour. Outbound GW Bridge is 40. From the cross block, that was quick. George back to White Plains Road. The inbound Lincoln 30 and the inbound House about a 40-minute wait. Now Staten Island bound, Verrazano upper level disabled in the center lane. It's still out there, disabled in the center. We've got heavier delays on the Portland, however, than we do going to Staten Island, and it goes out to the eastbound Bell Parkway, not so much the Gowanus. The Gowanus delays don't get bad until you get around Sunset Park and right around 53rd Street. From 53rd Street up into Atlantic Avenue, you got that right, we are pretty jammed, and we've got delays in the Prospect because of it. I hate this Gowanus construction going on Atlantic Avenue. It's driving me crazy. We've got delays from back at Fort Hamilton Parkway on the Prospect Expressway trying to get up to the Gowanus BQE. Now, if you're taking the Whitestone, just keep in mind that the Whitestone Expressway is jammed from Northern Boulevard. So add that out of your bucket list. You could try Francis Lewis Boulevard, or you took the Parkway, 149th Street. Just don't take the Whitestone Expressway because you're going to get stuck there. Alternate side parking, that's in effect today. That's citywide. Our next report is 9:51. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM. The voters have spoken, and while we are still waiting to find out whether the balance of power will shift in Washington, local election results are in, the vast majority anyway. Let's get the recap from our Glenn Shuck live in the 1010 Winds newsroom.
Certainly for Kathy Hochul here in New York. Now, just some comparison here. I was looking at some notes. Andrew Cuomo won the New York governor's race by 22 points back in 2018.
Yeah. Buffalo Soldier. Nani.
Confession from Melbourne, they're certainly celebrating Kathy Hochul's camp.
The cheers and chants as the 57th governor of New York took the stage.
You need your voices heard loud and clear. You made me.
You better believe it. How Kathy Hochul won.
Kathy Hochul declaring victory surrounded by her family, noting several times the glass ceiling broken, and her path forward with a swipe at the gubernatorial opponent.
I'll lead with strength and compassion, not with fear and anger.
She says New Yorkers refuse to go backward and are instead looking ahead. Julia Papa, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM at Hochul headquarters.
Margin again, still waiting to hear from Lee Zeldin in some form, either a press conference or some type of statement. Pennsylvania making a lot of news. The governor's race going Democrat. Same thing for the Senate. John Fetterman is headed there. I'll be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania. Dr. Oz putting in millions of dollars. The Republican Party doing the same. Oz finishing a loss here, 50 to 27.5%. So even more than some of the polls have been saying. Now the Senate right now does 48. 4 races still to be decided, and it's going to take a while to play out. One of these in Georgia appears to run off now. It looks like that's where we're headed, and that's on December 6th. So it's going to take a while. Neither candidate, Democrat Raphael Warnock, the incumbent, or official Republican side, that 50%. They both came close, only separated by half a percentage point, but neither again getting to that 50% mark. Slight leads for the Senate race in Nevada and Wisconsin for Republicans, while the Democratic incumbent Markelly leads in Arizona. Again, if that all continues to play out, it would be Georgia that decides it all in terms of the balance of power in the Senate. Now, in terms of the House, right now 199 Republican wins, 178 Democrats, with 218 needed to control, and still many races to be decided. One that has been, though, Republican Nicole Malliotakis, a big win, more than 20 points of victory over Democrat Max Rose in that district. That includes Staten Island.
Yeah.
Now in Congress, the son of Senator Menendez, winning the seat in Hudson County, vacated by the retiring
Oh my God.
A win for incumbents in Jersey and
Love my
Congress like
coffee.
Gottheimer and Kim and Shell.
Love my pizza, but where is my coffee?
Tom Malinowski apparently is not, although it's not official yet. It looks like Tom Kane Jr., the son of the former governor, Republican. He is going to win that.
Yeah.
In Jersey, that will flip. So again, still lots to follow. We'll keep doing it. I'm Glenn Shuck at the 1010 Wins election. That's on 92.3 FM.
Yeah, look at other governor's races across the country that were making headlines. Win for the Republican
Headline.
Stacey Abrams, a Democrat, lost her bid to unseat Georgia Governor Brian Kemp.
For one reason and one reason
Headline.
only, to fight. And not just any fight. A fight to save Georgia. A fight on behalf of our
Fight to save Georgia. Fight to save New York. Fight to save
Democrat
London.
Beto O'Rourke, the governor of Texas. Ron DeSantis remains the governor in Florida.
After 4 years, the people have delivered their verdict. Freedom is here to stay.
Former Trump press secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders won the governor's race in Arkansas. In fact, she made history as the first woman governor ever there. Wins for the Democrats. Wisconsin's Tony Evers staved off a challenge from Republican Tim Michael.
Showed up for the reproductive rights and the freedom for you. The freedom for you and your neighbors to make their own health care decisions without having to ask me or any other elected official.
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer defeated GOP challenger Tudor Dixon. Democrat Josh Shapiro beat Republican Doug Mastriano in Pennsylvania. And Democrat Maura Healey to become the first openly lesbian governor in Massachusetts. Still no final result in Arizona. That's where Trump-backed Carrie Lake is up against Democrat Katie Hobbs. 1010 Wins election coverage sponsored by AARP New York. Get voting information you can trust at aarp.org/NY. Vote. So remember that testimony from a former White House staffer that Donald Trump lost it while in his presidential limo the day of the Capitol Hill riot? Well, now comes word the 1-6 committee is going to look further into that.
The January 6th committee wants confirmation of reports that former President Trump may have physically attacked the Secret Service driver. And Mr. Trump was told they would not drive into the U.S. Capitol with his supporters. Congressional investigators interviewed the driver Monday and had scheduled talks with other agents as well. That committee must complete its report on the insurrection by the end of the year.
That's correspondent Andy Field reporting. More dangerously stormy weather about to hit the Sunshine State.
Storm-weary Florida residents are securing their belongings and preparing for a storm surge ahead of Nicole's arrival.
We've got Sunday Celeste, Hurricane, and even worse in this one.
Evacuation orders are in effect for several communities. Schools are closed today in Broward and Miami-Dade counties, and Orlando's airport is closing this afternoon. The Kennedy Space Center, the Space Launch System rocket and Orion spacecraft for the Artemis 1 mission, is locked down at the launch pad. NASA has pushed back liftoff from this coming Monday to Wednesday, weather permitting.
That's correspondent Jason Allen. Nicole is expected to make landfall along Florida's east coast either late tonight or early tomorrow. Traffic and our 4-day forecast coming up.
Throughout the 60s and 70s, cops hunted down key figures of the Dixie Mafia, including its enigmatic ringleader, Kirksey Nick.
Buffalo Soldier.
15 years into Kirksey's life sentence, the Dixie Mafia was practically folklore, but that would soon change. I'm Jed Lipinski. This is Gone South, a documentary podcast from C13 Originals, a Cadence 13 studio. Season 2, The Dixie Mafia. Available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Holiday Prep event. Here to help you host the season with offers, in-store workshops, and more.
Oh, great. I may have invited the whole neighborhood for the holidays.
Don't worry, you can do this. To start, IKEA family members save 20% on vintage and Christmas sheeted core and gift wrap.
You are my hero.
Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/holiday prep to get ready and save. Offer valid 11/9 to 11/23/22. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. Restrictions apply.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. Dot-com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
26 on 951 traffic and transit on the ones, and here's Karen Stewart. Hi, we're going to start by updating you on the Hudson River crossings, and now is the time when they keep changing very quickly, and it's got good news all over the place. The inbound side of the George is about 30 to the upper and lower levels. If you just got there to go 30, how is that good news? Believe me, it's good news. We were bridging on 60 there at the George for the upper level for a while now, but now we are safely down to a 30-minute wait, and it will get better from here on out. The outbound GW Bridge from the Cross is 40, the inbound Lincoln is 30, and the inbound Helen Tunnel is still 30, and the Verrazano Staten Island bound upper level disabled is still there. It's blocking center lane, but we are so much heavier going into Brooklyn than we are going into Staten Island. Check out the Bronx, shall we? The Bruckner is improving here. We've got road work in the Bronx River Parkway over on the Bruckner. Not bothering anybody too much. There are slowdowns in the area. Oh, I just noticed the Whitestone. Okay, let's talk about the Whitestone Bridge. We are jammed northbound and southbound to center span where there is construction. The northbound delay on the Whitestone Expressway has you jammed from Northern Boulevard. The Profanity is better into both boroughs. Traffic is sponsored by Carson Kids Real Estate. Carson Kids accepts property donations with costs at an all-time high. It's time to donate that property to Carson Kids Real Estate and stop worrying about any expenses. Hurry! Secure your 2022 tax deduction now for the full appraised value. Go to carsonkidsrealestate.org. Our next report is 10:01. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Vans on
Red light, camera ahead.
And right to AccuWeather and Dean DeVore.
Right to the sunshine we go. I'm liking the looks of the day. It's still going to be a coolish day compared to where we've been. The good news is the wind is not going to be as fierce at times as it was yesterday. And then temperatures tonight are going to drop down to a chilly mid-40s in the city, 30 in the suburbs. We're looking at a milder day tomorrow, 63 at least. I think some of the inland suburbs could go higher than that. Into Friday, it's dead with some drizzle in the morning, pockets of rain, some rainstorms fall by midday into the afternoon. That gets heavy rain pockets on Friday night, and we see some embedded thunderstorms. But embedded in those thunderstorms could be some damaging rainfall that could spread up into a tornado. We're also watching the next day, the possibility of coastal flooding. There's been strong winds blowing the coast of this estimation. So Friday night, up to 59 Saturday with rain and drizzle. In fact, it's been brightening. Chillier, clouds, maybe a shower with the from 32 to 60 on Sunday. 44 on the other way to 59. I'm going to give you Robert J. DeVore on New York's weather station. And in Maine from 92.3 FM. Our company has created a killer virtual reality headset that we do not recommend using it. Why? The founder of Oculus says he came up with a VR headset that physically shows a user if they die in a game called Sword Art Online.
Yeah, I was supposed to have an appointment yesterday, but it was like election day, so he called me to reschedule. I have no idea, 646-240-9945. Please call me back, and we're going to reschedule the 646-240-9945. Thank you. Yeah. Take a look at me now. I'm sexy and I know it. I'm sexy and I know it. Yeah, Astoria Queen's next. I have an appointment. Astoria Queen's next. I have appointment. Right? Assembly. Right? Wee.
USA.org.
At my age, I never dreamed I'd be dealing with opioid addiction.
I was pregnant, and I couldn't stop.
Getting sidelined by an injury was bad, but the cravings were way worse.
Then I heard about 844-REACH-NJ.
They connected me to treatment, and I had a healthy baby.
844-REACH-NJ is the call that made the difference.
Thank goodness I made the call.
I'm glad I made the call for both of us.
REACH-NJ.
If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, call 844-REACH-NJ from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Hey folks, Sid here. If you're in a technology crisis, make the switch. Get Protected Harbor and get protected from bad IT companies. A leader in managed IT services, Protected Harbor has 2 decades of experience helping businesses like yours eliminate IT headaches with a 60-day money-back guarantee. The first 10 callers will get a free IT audit worth over $3,000. Call 833-CYBER-11. That's 833-CYBER-11 and go to protectedharbor.com. Our nation vows to never forget 21 years ago, but those words require action. The Delta Towers Foundation has over 80 runs, walks, and climbs across America every year. Plus, dozens of more golf outings and barbecues you can be part of. There are so many ways that you can take action. So, register for an event in your area or volunteer start one. Do good and never forget by donating $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org. Radio 77. Hey, you were great today, Lewis. Really very funny. I mean, really very, very funny stuff. Phil Macedonia, Justin Ellick, Frankie Diaz, Steph Valentine, great stuff today. Breaking news, I love that. Noam Layden loves that. All of our guests today, which included Frank Morano, Laura Curran, Bo Guido twice, Nicole Maliotakis, Peter King, and my mother. Tomorrow, Bill O'Reilly and Rudy Giuliani. My big dinner coming up.
Yeah.
I need advice from Giuliani. He'll be on tomorrow with Bill O'Reilly.
Giuliani
Tomorrow, everybody. Have a great day. Good night to all.
In the New York governor's race, mostly watched, Democrat Kathy Hochul running victory over Republican Lee Zeldin, unofficially becoming New York's first female governor. Directly to New Yorkers. Tonight, you made your voices heard loud and clear. And you made me the first woman ever elected to be the governor of the state of New York. Zeldin, though, didn't concede to Hochul during his speech to supporters last night.
So what's going to happen is that over the course of these next couple of hours, you're going to see the race continue to get closer and closer and closer and closer. This includes, by the way, on Long Island, you're going to see a massive victory coming out of Long Island, which will also be closing the gap.
Another governor's races in Florida, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis was victorious, along with U.S. Senator Marco Rubio in Georgia, Brian Kemp on re-election over Stacey Abrams in Arizona. Democrat Katie Hobbs leads Republican Carrie Lake by about 5 percentage points. Control of Congress still hangs in the balance, 51-48. The Georgia Senate race may decide control of Congress. There may be a December 6th runoff between Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker if neither candidate surpasses the 50% threshold. In New York, U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, has won a historic, unofficially, 5th term over GOP candidate.
We have a plan.
I'm so honored that the people of New York have given me another term to keep doing what I love. Fighting to deliver real results for New York in the U.S. Senate.
Trade Center.
In the U.S. House of Representatives, the 218 seats needed to control Congress right now, the split is 178. In the Attorney General's race in New York, Democrat Letitia over Paul Rodriguez, and New York quarterback
take the tunnel. No tunnel. No tunnel for you.
Long Island to New York City. Here's Brian Kilmeade with the Uncle Giuseppe's Marketplace. Talking New York. Visit them at UncleG.com.
Hi, I'm Brian Kilmeade. Thanks so much for listening to the Talk of New York here on 77 WABC. Great run for Lee Zeldin, but it doesn't seem to be enough. He has not conceded yet, but it looks like he's going to lose to the most unworthy winner, in my view, Kathy Hochul. If she doesn't learn from running the worst campaign ever, not actually addressing the issues that matter most to almost every New Yorker, like crime, like the economy, like safety, we're all doomed. But she looks to have won by about 4 points, which is pretty amazing in this state. The city has to live with this win, and looks like for Kathy Hochul, and the city has to live with this. And as I see more and more of this video with the drop-offs of illegal immigrants and Port Authority, and she did nothing.
Speed camera reported ahead.
Uncle Giuseppe's Marketplace. Talking New York. Uncle Giuseppe's is the tri-state area's leading full-service grocer. Visit any one of the 10 locations across Long Island, New Jersey, and Westchester. Order online at UncleG.com. Uncle Giuseppe, because your family deserves the very best. New York proud. New York loud. With New York attitude. All here on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Coming to you from 48.6 in Midtown Manhattan, heard around the country, around the world. Rich Lowry from National Review will try to put this election in perspective in about 34 minutes. We're with you right now in Studio Small 10. Chairman of the Harris Poll, Chief Executive of Stagwell Inc., and Fox News contributor. You watch them all night long. You might not know it, but
Yeah.
In 1,000 feet, keep left to exit 1, FDR Reactor. Use the left 2 lanes to keep left to exit 1, FDR Reactor.
So we really have a 20-point win in Miami-Dade after DeSantis was only a single point. Sweep the congressional races. You know, I say it's the United States of Florida. They were their own country last night in terms of results because none of the other states really demonstrated that kind of change.
Rubio, huge win too, as well. Mm-hmm. And when you break it down, DeSantis won the Hispanic vote by 57%. He won the non-Cuban vote, I believe, by 5%, and he lost to Willer. I even forgot his name. The guy he lost to last time.
Gilliam?
Yeah, Gilliam. My bad. He lost to him by 10 points on the Hispanic vote. That's how much things have changed in 4 years. Here's how happy he was.
You know, over these past 4 years, we've seen major challenges for the people of our state, for the citizens of the United States, and above all, for the cause of freedom. We saw freedom in our very way of life, and so many other jurisdictions in this country wither on the vine. Florida held the line.
I thought it was a really good speech. His three little kids come out after. His wife is so poised as a network anchor. He knew exactly what he was going to say. It was a raucous crowd. And you looked at him as the ultimate winner last night.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because look, he had not just words. Look, many politicians today, and even senators, have some words. They may or may not have. Pandemic, right?
In 300 feet, turn left on Greenwich Street. Turn left on Greenwich Street.
And he came through that, and you see the complete breakdown of partisanship and break away from partisanship to reaffirm his leadership. That really surprised me. That really said he's got to be waking up today and saying, this presidential run, I was thinking about it, but now I've got to do it.
Although there was this report in Axios last week that he wasn't going to do it, and Donald Trump came out yesterday and said there's a lot of things about Ron's background. It wouldn't be good for him to come out and run for president. And here's what he said, the president said the former president said last night. That's what he did.
The minute I made that endorsement, he got it. Then he ran, and he wasn't supposed to be able to win. I did 2 rallies. We had 52,000 people each one. I thought that he could have been more gracious, but that's up to him.
Talking about how when he wanted to go from congressman to get the nomination and then ultimately win, he won by 1 point, that he could have been more gracious. So there seems to be somewhat friction between the two.
Then go marching one by one around. And go marching 2 by 2 around.
Leadership. I think that last night the Republican Party didn't have national leadership. I think that in many of the races it turned out weaker than expected. Trump's primary candidates came through, and while people will say Vance won or
J.D. Vance won, and he was obviously a big pick for Trump.
But that was an 8-point Trump stayed, and Vance won by 6, and then Bud won. But again,
it's North Carolina,
right? And those were more Republican-leaning states. But in the 50-50 states, having Walker and having Oz as the candidates, that pretty much jeopardized those 2 seats. And Pennsylvania's a loss, and we'll see what happens with Georgia.
And Senator, it looks like Fetterman won that seat.
Yes, I mean there's no question about that.
And he did.
No question about it. No question
you look at that and you say, well, okay, McCormick probably would have been able to put up a better race. This was a good night for moderates. Moderate Democrats did well. The Spanberger race.
Spanberger, Virginia.
Josh Gottheimer in New Jersey, and Claire in Texas. I mean, really the electorate right now has to choose between a Republican Party they don't like and a Democratic Party they don't like. And so they're really looking for new leadership.
So Gottheimer is somebody that would break from the party once in a while, not enough. And Penny Cuellar did when it comes to the border. I'm a big fan. And that to me is the old days.
Turn right on South Street. Then use the left lane to make a U-turn to FDR Drive North, Governor's Island Ferry.
To leave the border wide open or build a wall and get control over it. I thought that was so obvious. When it comes to inflation, should we do everything we can to be energy independent? I thought that would be obvious from the 70s.
Use the left lane to make a U-turn to FDR Drive North, Governor's Island Ferry.
Finally away from OPEC in the Middle East. We did it. We gave it all back and then blamed them. So some of these things are really mind-boggling. But if you look at President Trump's pick up Mastriano, that might have been the most detrimental.
Brooklyn
on this.
Do you know Brooklyn?
You got to get somebody to break away from their party to vote for you. So Kemp is going to run for lines. People voted for.
Do you remember the time?
Then you're asking people to break from Mastriano, the Republican nominee for governor, and find Oz on the ballot. How hard is that?
Exactly. And then Trump also raised a couple $100 million that might otherwise have been raised.
Clairement, yes. Clairement. kebab. The heck? What the heck happened? One lane closed. I need to get a shish kebab. בניגה עכשיו, דרך את הטלפון שלו. לא, יש משטרה, אתה יודע שבבית, לא, גם צריך לעשות ריוי קולי, לעשות בצד. בדרך לברוקלין. יש לי פגישה עם האסמבלי של קווינס והקונסיל והאסמבלי אמרו יעזרו לי קשר לדירה של אסטוריה. יש לי את כל הדברים שלי שם, עושה לי בעיות לקחת את הדברים. לא רוצה להסתבך לשוטרים וזה נבלות.
למה, החזירו לו את הדירה כבר?
לא החזירו לו. הוא שיחה את העובדים של ה-Department of Building, הביאו לו bucket order, כאילו צריך לפנות את המקום לשפץ, דברים כאלה, אתה מבין? אבל הוא שיחד אותם, הוא אומר להם שעושה Airbnb שם, אין לו שום הוכחות.
תגידו הדברים שלך וזהו. אז הוא יקרא למשטרה הזה, וזהו, תגידו שאתה רוצה לקחת את הדברים, זה הכל.
הוא אומר, לקחתי את כל הדברים, הוא משקר, הוא אומר, כבר לקחתי את כל הדברים, אמרתי לו, אתה משקר, אין לך הוכחות, אין לך כדי. אין, יש טלוויזיה, אין. שילך לפי החוק, הוא לא הולך לפי החוק, הוא הולך לפי ברבריות.
אז מה לבזבוז, קאנסלמן, היום טלוויזיה עולה $100, $200. כל הזמן הזה ללכת לצ'אט. תעשה אישו, כמה עולה טלוויזיה? $200.
אני יכול לתבוע אותו, את העירייה, את המשטרה, על מיליונים, מה אתה חושב? אני בונה לי קייס עכשיו, מעצר שווא, ו-illegal lockup, וכל הדברים האלה שעשו לי, אני יכול לתבוע אותם לאט לאט מיליונים, מה אתה חושב? לא עושים דברים כאלה, מה? זה לפי החוק.
אם יש לך את הזמן...
יש חוקים במדינה, יש הגנת הדייר, הגנת הצרכן, הגנת הזיפי, צריכים ללכת לפי החוקים.
זה יהודה.
לא יודע, התקשרו אליי מהפייסבוק, כאילו לדינה, אני יודע, אומרים להם, אני רוצה לעשות השתלת שיער, ביקשת מידע על השתלת שיער או משהו כזה?
אני לא.
לא יודע, אמרת להם נחזור אליך.
שתיל ביצים.
שתיל ביצים. יוסי אמר, הוא משתיל רגל והוא יבוא ללוס אנג'לס לשבועיים, יבוא לניו יורק לשבועיים, לוס אנג'לס לשבועיים. הוא אומר, יש לו רגל רצה, יכול לרוץ במרתון. יש באמת אנשים שרצים במרתון עם רגל רצה. כתבות?
אחד מפורסם. היה לו שתי רגליים זה, והוא ניצח, לא רק ש...
יש להם כאלה, קיפול כאלה. זה לא, אתם רצים עם רגל כזאת, עם קיפול כזה, אתה יודע, קיפול כזה...
כן.
מתכת. אז זה מביא, אז זה לא פייר, מביא לו קפיצות לגובה. לא, רק, אתה יודע מה ישראל עשתה? ישראל חכמה. לקחה אחד מקניה, שלחה אותו לרוץ במרתון, ואומרים, הנה ישראל זכתה. הבנת? אומרים, אז זה רעיון טוב שישראל תיקח אתלטים מרוסיה, מקניה, אלה שכל הזמן זוכים, ויגידו, הנה זכינו. מייצגים את ישראל, אפילו יכולים... טובות גם במיטה וגם באתלטיות. תן לה בסולה.
Take this. Good stuff. Gracias. Infinito, ven aquí downstairs. Hey, Alex. What's up, brother? What happened? Why you not turn on the light? Focus on that thing. I said you're sophisticated. And they got a light over their food.
Keep right, then turn right on Prospect Street.
אוקיי, שבח להם. לך.
Turn right on Prospect Street.
Yeah.
In 900 feet, turn right on J Street, then turn left.
Yeah. Buffalo Soldier. Love. Peace and love. Love is the answer. Love is love.
Turn right on J Street, then turn left on Sand Street.
Bila.
Turn left on Sand Street, then use the right lane to exit right to I-278 East Brooklyn Queens Expressway toward Triborough Bridge.
donate, go to T2T.org right now. Pledge $11 a month to this great organization. Feel better as we get closer and closer to the Veterans Day that you did. New York governor's race goes to Kathy Hochul, roughly 52 to 47. Lee Zeldin ran extremely strong. Zeldin encouraged supporters to keep their spirits up. Nick Lelado admits to keep Zeldin's New York 1 seat that he left himself. That's no surprise. Republican candidates looking to have broken the New York Democrats supermajority in the Senate. They had a few big victories there. Special thanks to Long Island for that. Meanwhile, Nicole Malliotakis' very convincing victory over a so-called moderate Max Rose. He's got a military background. New York Attorney General still, sadly, is Letitia James, wants handling of a Mike Henry. Meanwhile, George Santos is able to flip Tom Suozzi's seat when he left to run for governor. That didn't work out. Islanders beat the Rangers 4-3. I'm Brian Kilmeade. Listen to the Brian Kilmeade Show 10 to noon, Monday through Friday on 77 WABC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish.
Babbel lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, let's go. You're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I like the Babbel lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations. Then you go actually use it.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts, or games, or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
Babbel. Évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The dark web can be like a restaurant for identity thieves.
Hi, ready to order? I'll have the driver's license number. Great, that comes with a home address or a birthday.
In 1,000 feet, it can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
The drivers who switched to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, there is a nice piece of stock music playing behind me that a talented composer worked really hard on. So let's enjoy it.
In 3/4 of a mile, keep right to exit 44, Astoria Boulevard West.
November is American Diabetes Month. Listen as 77 WABC continues to raise awareness. It's our chance to show the world what life with diabetes is really like and provide ways to manage it.
Life storage. This is my storage. I can't.
It's time to get educated, find resources, and make sure all of those around us are aware of their risks too. In the hope for a cure, WABC cares. Cats at Night, celebrating truth
Hello.
and the American way.
לא, אני בנהיגה, מנואל אפשר לשים אותו על הקו, אולי מנואל יעזור לך למצוא מסעדה. למה לא אומר לך יום הולדת שמח, הוא אומר שווארמה עליו.
In 1,000 feet, use the right lane to keep right. Speed camera reported ahead. Keep right to exit 44, Astoria Boulevard West.
Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah.
In 1/4 of a mile, exit to 24th Avenue.
But when you wake up tomorrow, we will be in the majority and Nancy Pelosi will be in the minority.
The American people are ready for a majority that will offer a new direction, that will put America back on track. Republicans are ready to deliver it.
So there you go. That is Kevin McCarthy. He's getting a little ahead of himself, but it looks like the Republicans going to win the House. It does.
In 1,000 feet, exit right.
Down to December 6th. So for Democrats to say, wow, what a great night. Yeah, in a way, time to tide after, I think, a very dicey report card. I mean, my goodness, look at oil and gas. My goodness, you are constantly so much of it as you admit to not drilling. Look at the broken border, our foreign policy, the exit from Afghanistan.
Exit right to 24th Avenue.
What's happening with China and the militarization of all of a sudden our enemies are on steroids, with Iran selling weapons over to Russia and North Korea doing the same thing. Rich Larry joins us now, editor of National Review, and then in 15
In 900
minutes I'll get to
feet,
your call. So
turn
stay
left
aboard
on
the order in which
32nd
you
Street.
received. Rich, your take on what the Republicans did and didn't do last night.
Well, I mean, the big thing is Democrats turned out, and to a significant extent, they defied gravity. I mean, the NBC poll from over the weekend had some good news for Democrats, but I thought the most important item in it was that Joe Biden's approval rating among independents was 28%. 28%. That's not survivable. That shouldn't be survivable. Then we had the exit polls, big asterisk on exit polls. They're not entirely reliable. That had basically candidate quality mattered, and Republicans had a lot of weak candidates. I thought a wave was, as we talked about a lot, would bring almost all of them in anyway, but it wasn't a wave, so the candidate quality mattered more than I would have thought. And then, this kind of mix of issues that I just didn't think was that important compared to inflation and the economy, of abortion, democracy, Trump. At the very least, it was enough to get their people out and make it more sort of a normal election where the specific flaws of Republican candidates could be highlighted. It mattered that Oz was from New Jersey more than Fetterman had the stroke, and et cetera. We saw that repeated across the map. Herschel's going to hopefully get in a runoff here, but if he were less flawed or was a more just standard Republican, would have won easily an environment where Brian Kemp was winning by 9 points. So there's a lot to chew on, but that's my initial take.
Brian, we're going to find out if the balance
At the next light, turn left.
has to happen. Something's going on in Arizona. Not really sure. That Maricopa County problem is an issue.
Turn left on 32nd Street.
It's an issue. I'm not saying it turned anyone's election, but the fact is they still can't count.
Turn left onto
24 hours
31st
later,
Street.
we still don't have the result. Carrie Lake, when I got up today, I'm up at 3. I'm in the building at 3:50.
You've arrived at your destination. 1 mile. Turn left onto Broadway.
He's basically trailing by percentage points now. It kind of surprised me. I thought she'd win relatively easily. I thought Blake Masters have a hard time. Now I think it's a 4 or 5 point lead. Masters trails Mark Kelly, one of the worst campaigners I've ever seen, who's the least productive senator I can imagine, with an unbelievable resume. So your thoughts on Arizona?
Well, I thought Carrie Lake would win pretty handily. I mean, she's obviously a rock star, but maybe it wasn't such a great idea to spend the last week campaigning with Steve Bannon. The whole point there should be to moderate, and she and a lot of, she did a rally at Tulsi Gabbard. She didn't talk about 2020 at all. It's all practical issues, and I think that would have been the natural play. She didn't do that, and just, the environment is not quite as favorable to Republicans almost all over the map, except for obviously Florida and the Georgia gubernatorial race. And there you have 2 governors, and they're able to create identities that are separate from the Republican brand to a significant extent. They're both really competent people, and they both had some separation from Trump, Kemp and DeSantis, and they could do that, but a lot of other people around the map couldn't.
Myra Flores, who is the rock star, born in Mexico, husband's a Border Patrol agent. They redistrict her after she won her special election.
Turn left onto 24th
She was
Avenue.
pretty
Then
angry.
turn left onto 31st Street.
She let him have it. She says, Myra Flores basically said she was, where it is, the independents stayed home. Do not complain about the Republicans and independents stayed home. Do not complain about the results if you did not do your part. So she's angry because she can't believe that she would lose on a border that representing a town that's been totally overwhelmed by illegal immigrants. Either can I.
Yeah. Well, it was always clear she was going to have a tougher time she did in the special election just because of the new lines of the district. I'm not sure,
Today Gonzalez beat her.
Yeah, so, Republican turnout was pretty good. It's just Democrat turnout was a little better. And the coalition they put together in 18 and 20 frayed, but it held. And you can see a new Republican coalition borning. We saw a hint of it in 2020 with Trump's overperformance among Latino and black men. You see in a big way in Florida. The question is, can you replicate that more around the country? And if you can, you get a majority, and you can win big in 2024. But there's a lot of events between now and then.
One of those miraculous stories is what happened in Florida. You watch Ron DeSantis dominate, and Marco Rubio almost as dominant. Here's Marco. Here's a cut from Marco Rubio last night, cut 15.
After tonight, the Republican Party will never be the same. The great thing.
Watch out, pothole on road ahead.
It'll never be the same. Because this is a party made up of people from every color, every race, every ethnicity, men and women. Yes, men and women that exist. And you know what we call people who are black and white and Hispanic and Asian and are men and are women? We call them, sir, we call them Americans.
To have a debate of ideas for a better direction for New York, and we're still totally committed towards seeing it through for the 1.4 million election day voters who have not yet had their vote cast and counted. We hope that as these results come in, that we'll be able to prevail.
So he did not give up last night, and we got a text from him, and he said certain things you felt good about last night, but certain things have to come out. But it's all about New York City.
There's more disorder. It's a different and more threatening environment, but it's just hard to overcome the massive Democratic vote coming out of New York City. But it's always true if he was close, that meant the tight congressional races, Republicans were closer ahead, and that's proved out. So Zeldin, getting to 4 or 5 point loss is an extraordinary achievement that is not unfortunately going to change the trajectory of the state, but as you point out, may go a long way to delivering the House to Republicans.
So where does so if you look right now at the presidential race, the president's going to announce on Monday he wants people on the stage with him, the former president, on stage with him to say he's my guy, from Lindsey Graham on down. Knowing that the cover of the New York Post today says basically Ron DeSantis is the man, and the future. It's everything you get. People listening to exactly what you said in the future. He's 44 years old. What are your thoughts about how that plays out?
Well, first of all, I hope people, Lindsey, others, prevail on Trump not to announce next week, because it's very likely there's going to be a runoff in Georgia that is the whole tamale and the for Senate control, and just Trump being front and center is not going to be helpful. So wait a month. Just please wait a month. So I hope people prevail on him there, and I just think he's still a huge and formidable figure, but last night was not good for him. It was not good for him. His hand-picked candidates did not do well. Even when they won, they underperformed. And I think last night was a vote for Republican normality and less chaos. Again, looking at Kemp and DeSantis doesn't mean you have to be a wimp. You shouldn't be a wimp, but you have to be competent and appealing to the middle. And that's where I think Trump falls down.
Rich, exciting time. I know you do a lot of politics. You have all this experience, and you're a historian in your own right. But this is a very unique time in American politics, and we're still waiting, sadly, almost a full day after the polls had opened, for winners around the country. And the same state's giving us the same problem. Rich Lowry, thanks so much.
Hey, thanks so much, Brett.
All right, when we come back, I'll take your calls. I see out there from Georgia to Kansas to Pennsylvania to Orlando to Michigan to York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia Beach. This is the Brian Kilmeade Show.
The Brian Kilmeade Show, sponsored by Crunch Fitness. Interested in owning your own business in a growing $30 billion industry? Check out Crunch Fitness at crunch.com. More of the Brian Kilmeade Show coming up on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Best-selling Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier uses proven oxy technology that quickly destroys virus, odors, mold, and more. People are raving over how well the Thunderstorm freshens their home. Any odor will disappear. Odors from litter box, trash cans, cigarette smoke, dirty diapers, you name it. And best of all, there's no right now. For whole home protection for when you bake, family room, kitchen, or anywhere you need clean, fresh air. Also, connect a USB port for your car or truck. With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200. Go to EdenPureDeals.com right now and put in discount code RADIO to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Use discount code RADIO and shipping is free.
Yellowstone, television's #1 show, returns on Paramount Network.
I, John Weldon, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Montana against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Featuring an all-star cast led by Academy Award winner Kevin Costner.
Invasion is over. They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
The Dutton family fight to protect their legacy. They'll learn power has a price.
I need to the declaration of war. We're already at war.
Yellowstone returns Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for an epic 2-hour premiere event exclusively on Paramount Network.
We tried Dynovite nutritional supplement, and after a couple of weeks, we noticed a big difference. Our little Gizmo's coat was shinier, and there was a lot less scratching and shedding.
My dog smelled and scratched
talk about my favorite place to shop for food. It's right by my house. It's called Uncle Giuseppe's Marketplace. They are hands down the tri-state area's leading full-service specialty grocer. I'm talking about stopping in on weekends to enjoy the great product sampling and live singers. It's amazing. Uncle Giuseppe's gives you a one-stop shopping experience that has the best of old-fashioned Italian recipes, the highest quality products, and world-class customer service. Uncle G's is the destination for your special events and holiday meals. I absolutely love Uncle Giuseppe's. It's where I go for all my holiday meals, from their signature deli bakery items to their fresh produce to their restaurant-quality sterling silver beef charcuterie, fresh-made pastas and sauce. They made everything to make your event, special occasion, or everyday meal come out amazing. So, your family deserves nothing but the best. You know that. And the best is Uncle G's. Visit one of Uncle Giuseppe's 10 locations across Westchester, Long Island by me, and New Jersey. To find the Uncle Giuseppe's nearest you, go to UncleG.com.
River Spring Residences is an assisted living community in Riverdale on the banks of the majestic Hudson River. Just minutes from Manhattan, River Spring Residences offers breathtaking views, a 32-acre campus with sculptured gardens, exquisite residences, great activities, gourmet meals, and of course, top-of-the-line security and medical staff. River Spring offers the right amount of support your loved ones need. That could mean a little assistance here and there to more intensive support, including state-of-the-art memory care, whatever it takes. But River Spring Residences is more than just assisted living. It's a place that makes living as meaningful as possible. To do that, everything River Spring does, from desserts to art classes to medical staff to nature trails and everything in between, is intended to create assisted joy, assisted comfort, assisted friendship, assisted community, and yet assisted independence. River Spring Residences. The people you love will love it. Call 833-56 River. That's 833-56 River. Or visit riverspringresidences.com.
In 1.1 miles, turn right onto 24th Avenue. Proceed to the route. In 1 mile, turn right onto 24th Avenue.
discussion that's been going on.
All right. Thank you. I'm Sam Bruce, WSB. Bruce, what's on your mind, Bruce?
Republican Senator Pat Toomey, who decided not to seek re-election. WEBC News Time, 11 o'clock. Let's head over to the sports desk and Justin Alex.
Thanks, Nolan. Just the NHL had games on the docket yesterday. The Rangers fell to the Islanders at the Garden by a score of 4-3. Anders Lee netted the winner in that one. Brock Nelson and Al Palmieri also found the back of the net. As for the Devils, they squeaked out a victory with Boston Bruins in front. Nico Hischier took matters into his own hands in the third.
Turn right onto 32nd Street. Then the destination is on your right.
Tonight we've got action on the hardwood as the Knicks and Nets go head-to-head for the first time this season. Tip-off is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. I'm Justin Ellick with 77 WABC Sports.
WNBA star Brittany Griner has been moved to a Russian penal colony known for its terrible living conditions, and her team has no idea where exactly she is today or how she's doing. She was apparently moved one day after she was able to meet with U.S. embassy officials last week. Your forecast now from the Ramsey Mazda Weather Center. Sunshine this afternoon at 56 o'clock, overnight at 33. Thursday, sunny and warmer at 67. 77 WABC News Time is 11:01. Sponsored by Boulevard Watch. Discover tiny plastic timepieces available at Macy's. It's 49 and sunny outside our Midtown studios. I'm Noah Maiden. Remember, the news, it never stops at WABCRadio.com.
My knee's so great. My knee's so great. My knee's so great.
If you're suffering from knee pain, having
Yeah, I'll have to close the live. I'll be back later. Thank you, everybody. I need to have to go to the meeting, and I'll be back later.